Welcome back to Cartoon Mistakes with Urban Monkey, where I'm continuing my look at Spider-Man the Animated Series. This episode focuses on Series 4 of the Spider-Man show, and I'll be trying to find as many mistakes in it as possible. Now, Season 4, like Season 2 and 3 before it, revolves around a series-long storyline. Now, this storyline for this series is entitled Partners in Danger. Yet, in 2 of the episodes, the title is wrong. As I said, in most episodes, it's called Partners in Danger. Yet in episodes 2 and 6, the title is actually Partners in Dangers. For some reason, in these 2 episodes, they've added an extra S onto the end of danger. Weird. The next mistake is something that I just found quite funny watching these shows, and I even thought it was dodgy when I watched it when I was little. It has to be the worst 3D Spider-Man I've ever seen. No wonder Kingpin can't beat Spider-Man. He doesn't even remember what he looks like. I mean, look at it. It's just terrible. It's almost as if it was just a random human male model, and they just happened to try and attempt to stick a Spider-Man texture on it, and it just doesn't work at all. I mean, the back of him is completely wrong. It doesn't look like that at all. And then when you see the close-up of his face, it just does not look like Spider-Man. It's terrible. In this scene, a timestamp is left on some of the frames. You can only see it for a few seconds. So let's have a look back in slow motion. As Landon pulls the switch, you can see that the timestamp is left on some of the frames in this scene. After being betrayed by the Kingpin, Alistair Smythe is turned into a sort of mutant character, and his eyes turn yellow. Well, technically they don't, as he seems to have some sort of yellow contact lens type visor that comes over his eyes, and in this scene he has these yellow eyes. Yet, when it cuts to the close-up, his eyes are suddenly normal, for no reason. Smythe isn't the only one with eye trouble, as Morbius also has various eye issues in this scene. As Spider-Man gives chase, notice Morbius has big red eyes. Yet, when the scene fades to black, presumably to go to an advert or something, his eyes change to white as the scene comes back to life. Then, as Black Cat comes in and helps Spider-Man, Morbius' eyes are suddenly red again.
I've gotta go.
In this scene, Peter is getting changed into Spider-Man, but he has to wear his spare mask that is in his room. As he goes to put his ripped one in the drawer, for some reason he only puts it in halfway, so the drawer is left open with the mask hanging out. Then, as Peter jumps onto the bed, you can see that the drawer is now shut and the mask isn't hanging out. Then when Harry comes into the room, the drawer is suddenly open and the mask is hanging over the drawer, covering the handle. Then when Harry walks up to the drawer and looks at it again, the mask is suddenly moved to the side of the handle.
Pete, can I come in? Look, Pete, this won't take long. That's weird.
As Spidey swings through the city, he happens to stumble across a store robbery. Keep an eye on the thief that he captures.
Uh-oh. Who am I kidding? Spider-Man, please! He's about my age. Why is he ruining his life for a few bucks? Have I battled so many supervillains that I've completely lost touch with real life in the streets?
So this is the guy that Spider-Man catches. You can see that he has long brown hair and a sort of grey-green jumper on. Yet when he swings away, the person has changed. So who is this guy? The chameleon? In another vampire-themed episode. Ugh, jeez, when will they ever end? A mistake occurs. As Blade throws the grenade, the other vampires fall to the ground. Then when Spider-Man shoots his web at the neogenic recombinator, you see the same view looking down again. Yet those vampires have suddenly disappeared. Then when the gun hits the ground, those vampires that fell suddenly reappear back on the ground, out of nowhere.
Beautiful children, lost to me again!
In this show, Peter Parker's eyes are green, yet in this scene, they change colours quite a lot. So here we see his eyes are green, as they should be. Yet when he starts to talk to Mary Jane, for some reason they start to flicker between green and blue. Yet Mary Jane doesn't even notice. Must be love.
Bet your life on it, Tiger. It will take a lot to be Spider-Man's wife, but I learned something today. If anyone can do it, it'll be Mary Jane Watson.
At least they get a happy ending. For now. And that brings me to the end of my Series 4 look at Spider-Man the Animated Series. Cartoon Mistakes will be back next week for my final part of Spider-Man the Animated Series, where I'll be taking a look at Season 5 of the show. Thanks for watching, and see you next week.